Congratulations to you for clicking on this video because your recipe problems are going to be solved. I assure you that, I guarantee you. Your recipe problems are going to be solved in this video. And I'm going to break it down bit by bit. I assure you. Now, the only thing you have to do for me that is very important is for you to click on that like button. Please click the like button, drop your comments, tell us where you are watching from. Having said that, let's go straight to the video. Let's first of all look at the basic ones, which is the flour, the salt, the yeast, and the water. With these three, if you add your sugar, you are good to go. Your bread is ready. Now, let's take a step further. Let's formulate our recipe. Now, what makes your bread unique are these things here, your flavor, and then this. So let's see how we bring 1, 2, 3 to add to this. Okay. Now, I have already arranged a 1 kg recipe. That way you'll be able to multiply everything by the number of kg you want to bake, and it will be very easy and give you good result. Now let's go. Before we come to this 1 kg recipe, let me explain this, and this, so that when we come to the formulation, you will understand and understand it well. Now here is a preservative. You need preservative for the shelf life of your bread to be long. You need to improve the shelf life of your bread by adding a preservative. Furthermore, we have the softener. The softener helps your bread to remain soft even after days. Your bread is still soft and looks fresh. That is the work of the softener. Now we also have improver or dough conditioner. This improver dough conditioner helps your dough to be firm, and the structure of your bread, the texture of your bread to be nice. It also helps to sustain the bread, to make the dough not to easily collapse during baking or during proofing time, that is during rising time. So that is the function of the improver. This is a tantalizer. It's just something that improves the taste of bread and is optional. You can do away with it. Let's take a step further. Let's look at the flavors combination. Let's take a step further. Let's look at these items here. This is where the taste of your bread is formulated. What makes your bread to taste this way or this way? This is it, the butter. Now, some persons, you don't carefully select the brand. You just go to the market and tell them, give me margarine, give me butter, and they give you any one. Carefully select a bread that is filled with flavor. I don't want to mention any brand. So just carefully select the one that has nice flavor, because that flavor will be transferred into your bread. So you get your butter. Egg is optional because due to its richness in protein can also reduce the shelf life of your bread. That means egg can cause spoilage. Now, you use oil when you are greasing your dough or your pan. You combine oil and butter so as to have enough volume to grease your dough or your pan. But if the bread you are making is for the low class and the population, just the masses, you are not targeting a rich audience, you can actually replace the butter with oil, and it will still give you nice loaf that will stand and sell. Now let's look at honey. There are persons that use honey as the major flavor and the sweetener. So brands like that are there. Their bread is just basically honey bread. You can also reduce your sugar by applying a sweetener. How do we use it? For 50 kg of flour, you apply 30 grams of sweetener, and also add just 1 kg of sugar instead of about 6 or 7 kg. You just measure in 1 kg of sugar, 30 grams of sweetener, and bake for 50 kg of flour. We will come to this in more details. So you have your sweetener. Now the milk also improve the taste of your bread and give that milkiness, especially if you're making milk bread. If you're making milk bread, then you cannot do without this milk. You have to. If you're making butter bread, the quantity of butter must increase. These are the difference between the milk bread and the butter bread. The butter bread has more butter, and you include the butterscotch to give that butter flavor. And then the milk has more milkiness and milk flavor. So increase the powder milk and also the milk flavor. Having said that, let's come to the flavor properly so that we formulate our recipe. Now, for flavors, this is one lesson that you should learn. You shouldn't add 1 to 3. No, what I mean is that don't combine up to 3 flavors. One will cancel out. One must be out. One will be silenced. One will be suppressed. One will be eliminated. So combine 2. Combine 2. 2 flavors alone will make you give your bread a unique aroma. So you can actually combine the butterscotch and vanilla. You can combine butterscotch and milk flavor. You can combine vanilla and banana flavor. You can combine vanilla and milk flavor, vanilla and honey. You can combine the berry, and just pick 2. Now, this is how you also formulate and do your research. You can start baking 1 kg and then you start with butterscotch and vanilla. You do it, keep this, set aside 1 loaf, and then you bake again with vanilla and banana. Set aside 1 loaf. Bake another one with honey and milk flavor. Bake another one with just like 4 to 5 combinations like that, and then you can eat and compare. That way you will now choose which one is best for you. That way you have the flavor that you desire. Let's come to 1 kg recipe. The purpose of this 1 kg recipe is for you to be able, let's say you want to bake 50 kg. Let's assume that you want to bake 50 kg of flour, and I've given you for 1 kg. It's just to multiply every item here by 50 and you get your recipe neat for the 50 kg. So if you want to bake 25 kg, it's just to multiply everything here by 25 and you have your 25 kg recipe. Is that not amazing? This is something that no baker will give you for free. This is something that nobody will give this for free. So what is stopping you from clicking the like button? What is stopping you from dropping a comment like thank you, or I'm watching from so country, from so state, from so location, to improve to help me, just do something that will make the algorithm to suggest this video to more persons. So let's go for 1 kg recipe. Now we have the flour. These are basic ingredients. The flour is there, 1 kg. 1 kg flour. Then you have to add salt, which is also basic. 8 grams of salt. Yeast, 15 grams of yeast. And then you come to what I want to make everything in grams, so that it will be easy for you to just weigh. So I'm using, even when I'm supposed to use volumes in water, I will use grams. So you just weigh 530 grams of water. So all you need is to put the water, put it on the scale and weigh, and you get it done. And then preservative, if you are using, there are different brands of preservative out there. Also, there are different types. You can use your vinegar, you can use your ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C. You can also use your calcium propionate, and so on and so forth. I've created a video on preservative, so you can check and choose the best option for you. But for this video, we are using calcium propionate. So if you are using calcium propionate as your preservative, then you should add 10 grams for the 1 kg of flour, 10 grams of preservative. Now, if you want to add softener to make this moistness and the softness of your bread to be retained, then the 2 softeners displayed on your screen can do the job. One is very expensive. The advanced C bake is very expensive. Then the other one in red sachet is very, very affordable. So you choose the one that you can easily find, you can easily get from the store. Now let's look at the softener. If you are using the red sachet, then you add 10 grams. If you are using the blue sachet, the advanced C bake, is boldly written on the sachet that 10 to 15 grams for 50 kg. Is boldly written there. So you do your maths and come to this point. That is it. So that means 5 kg, 5 grams of the softener will we go for 25 kg. So you do it like that downwards. Now, let's look at the improver. Whether you are using the EDC or Big Bake or whatever improver you are using, you have to check. In every brand, they always write the quantity, desired quantity. But if you are using EDC, you can actually use 2 grams. Okay, 2 grams or 2 tablespoons, because EDC is liquid. So 2 tablespoons can, or yeah, 2 tablespoons can do the job. Now let's look at the butter. Add 50 grams, at least 50 grams of butter can do the job. You can reduce it if you want, but note that if you reduce it, your bread, the weight of your bread will also be affected. The moistness of your bread will also be affected. Now let's look at flavor combination. This is where you decide. But for me, I decided to use vanilla and milk flavor. You can actually use butterscotch and banana, or butterscotch and milk flavor, honey and berry, whichever flour, wherever you want your bread to be. So for me, I use the vanilla 5 grams, milk flavor 3 grams. Now let's come to the milk flavor. We have the powdered milk flavor. We have the milk flavor that is oil. And then we also have the milk flavor that is exactly like milk. If you look at it, the color and the thickness is like milk. Now, among these three, the oil-based milk flavor is the strongest and it's also expensive. So you go for the one you can afford or the one you desire. Now, this is recipe, a great recipe that you cannot find from anywhere. So if you want us to give you unique recipe, a combination that will make the difference, we will do it for you. Very nice. We'll give you the best combinations that you will not find anywhere. Even if it's 100 persons that call me for recipe, I will give them recipes that are different. 100 types of recipe for the same bread. So what are you waiting for? Just give a call and we will help you. We will help you to make sure that everything is in order. But you know, it comes with a price. Thank you for watching. If you know that I have helped you to create a good recipe, I've given you knowledge on how to formulate your recipe, click that like button. Subscribe to our channel for more awesome videos. Share with your friends. See you in our next video. God bless you.